Hey mate.
How's it going, Jim?
Good mate, you ready for a few snappers?
Yeah mate, we'll give it a go.
Fantastic.
Try and get a couple.
Alright, hop aboard, we'll head off. G'day, Jim Harnwell here from Fishing World Magazine. We're out off the New South Wales south coast. I'm here with Guy Jamieson. Guy's a buddy of mine down here on the south coast. He's well known in the bream tournament scene. In fact, Fishing World actually sponsors his team. But Guy's also really well known for his snapper fishing abilities. And we're out here today. What we're going to be doing is showing you guys how to float line for snapper. That's basically using a bait system, bait and burley, to get snapper. Now Guy, what sort of country are we looking for when we want to go float lining for snapper?
Well, actually what you're looking for is where the hard reef meets onto the gravel, and then you anchor up onto the reef and then try and pitch yourself onto the gravel so you're fishing back onto the gravel beds, because the snapper seem to hunt around on the gravel looking for the little worms and stuff like that that's poking their heads out of the gravel, and that's how they have their feed. So we get our cubes down onto that gravel or across the gravel bed and they come up and then we hook them up.
Sounds pretty good. So I guess one of the key factors of success with this sort of fishing is A, finding the right spot, and then positioning your boat, anchoring up correctly so that your bait and your burley are actually where the fish are.
Yeah, that's right, Jim. What you got to do is you got to work out where the current's coming from, what wind is happening, so you anchor up in the right position. So try and drop your anchor onto the reef so your boat's actually in between the reef and the gravel, so you are fishing that gravel bed.
One of the important points to note here, guys, is sometimes it might take you a few goes to get exactly the right position, and it's well worth making the effort to actually get the right spot, because you will definitely catch more fish. So it might take 1 or 2 goes, maybe 3 goes to get your anchor in the right spot. So just bear that in mind. It's not always easy with wind and current. You've just got to trial and error, get to the right spot. A little tip, guys, is when you're anchored up at your snapper spot, is actually to turn your sounder off. The noise the transducer makes when it's pinging down on the bottom can sometimes scare the fish off. So it's always a wise move just to turn the unit off, and that means that you'll avoid spooking the fish. Okay, Guy, we're anchored up at not a bad little snapper spot. We've got cubed up pillies here. What's the actual process now?
Well, what you want to do first is cut your pilchard cubes up into little squares like that, and then you just flick them out the back, just behind the boat, one after a time at the start. And then once you've got a solid burley trail going, slow it down. So you say you're throwing in a pilchard every 30 seconds to keep a constant trail going down. As the snapper are coming up the trail, they're eating those cubes and getting higher and higher in the water column.
And then after you've got your burley trail going, it's time to deploy a bait, and you like to use whole pillies?
Yeah, I like to use a whole pilchard. Some reason they like to entice for a little bit bigger bait rather than the average little cube that you're throwing over. So I'll show you how you put these on a rig and get it down there.
And the rig you use is reasonably simple, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it is. All I've got is a treble hook down the bottom, tie it off, and then just a sliding hook at the top. So what you do first is you'll get your treble, put your treble hook down the bottom of the fish, in the bottom like that. Then your sliding hook you put in last. So you slide that up and put that through the eye of the fish.
Yeah.
As such.
And depending on current, I mean this one's unweighted, depending on the current, we haven't got a lot of current here at the moment, you might put like a little ball sinker up the front there too?
Yeah, we might put a small ball, like the smallest ball's double O or an O, depending upon the current. If the current's going a little bit, you go up the ball size, just so your baits are getting down there before you run out of line. And
the sort of tackle you use for this game, it's very similar to what you use for soft plastic and for snapper?
Yeah, this is my soft plastic rod that I use for both. It's very universal, so...
Right, so 4 to 6 kilos spin stick?
Yeah, it is a 4 to 7 kilo spin stick. Yep. With a 3,000 size reel, 15-pound braid, and anywhere in between 10 to 20-pound leader, depending upon the bottom.
Cool. So, a multi-purpose sort of unit.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now we're using bait here at the moment, but I'm presuming that you could actually float a softie down there as well.
Yeah, you can put a soft plastic, depending upon the depth. You can put it on a quarter jig head. You can go a little bit heavier if you're fishing deeper water. But yeah, if you just float them back, the same as you're floating back a bait, they seem to work as well as the pilchards.
Cool. All right, well let's get a bait in there, mate, and see if we can catch one.
No worries.
So when you're actually deploying the bait, do you cast it out or you just sort of let it float down?
I'll flick it out a little way, not too much.
Yep.
Let's say something like that, just behind the boat. And then I'll leave the bail arm open so the line's always running off. So it's acting as if the cube is going down with the other cubes. So you just keep peeling that line off, and once it goes off, that line will go a lot quicker. You just close the bail arm and hopefully you're hooked up.
Cool. Well, hopefully we do hook up.
We'll give it a go, eh?
No worries.
Here's another little tip and a little unit that you can use. It's a rod holder that sits in your own rod holder but lets your rod lay flat so you can have a hands-free rod. So all you do is just sit it in there like that, like so, and then the line will just peel off with the current. Just makes it a lot easier so you can still cut up your cubes, throw your cubes in, and then have your rod sitting there. And when a fish does grab it, that line will go a lot quicker than what it is running off at the moment. See how it's just ticking off? When a fish grabs it, it'll go a lot quicker. So then you just pull it out, close that bail arm, and then you should be on. All right, well, I think we've got a fish on here. It's taken a bit of line, so I'll pick it up and I'll close that bail arm and see if we can get him.
Get him on?
All right, we've got a fish on here.
Well done, mate.
Nice little snapper, I'd say. It's not doing much. But at this time of the year, the water's a little bit cooler, so they don't fight as hard as in summer. But he's having a little go. All right, there's a little head shake.
Oh, nice one, mate. Well done.
He's a nice little fish. Nice little bump on his head too.
Yes, good stuff. Nice, ready, mate. Well done. You reckon 2 kilo?
Yeah, he'd probably be around the 2 kilo
He got
mark.
that treble right in his.
He's got the treble right in the corner of his mouth. So he has taken the tail end of the pilchard. So there's our snapper. Nice little bump on his head. Nice little fish.
Well, we had a good morning this morning, floatlining for snapper. There we got these nice reddies, beautiful pan-sized snapper. Guy got most of them. But there you go, floatlining, a really effective way to catch snapper on inshore reefs. It's reasonably easy, it doesn't cost a lot, just need a couple of blocks of pillies and a few hooks. So give it a go, fantastic fun.